My head absolutely feels... Shut up, Ravi. My head absolutely feels... You know how, like... no, listen, I'm not... You know, I didn't take, kinesiology or whatever. Is that the science class where it's all about, like, bone, muscles and bones and shit?
Sure.
Something like that.
I definitely
One of those
know
classes.
what it is. It's definitely that.
I don't know. It's what, like, nerds took in high school. My point was, I'm not an expert of the body, right? I don't know how it looks. You know, I've seen a couple skeletons in some science classrooms, but that's about it. a couple pull-down charts, maybe, of some specific body parts enlarged. I don't know. And, of course, you know, the more affable doctors, the ones who have the fucking...
School nurses?
They're not really irrelevant to what I was going to get at. No,
Oh, I
was going to say the doctors who are... I meant to say affluent, not affluent. What did I say?
I don't know. I obviously didn't get your point and cut you off for no reason.
You're pretty good at that, actually. I was going to say...
I'm pretty good at that, actually.
The last bit of my knowledge of the human body is the third step. So the first one's the skeleton hanging in the corner of a science classroom. Mm-hmm. The few pull-down charts. Remember the old... Remember when classrooms were just littered in just a row of pull-down charts around the whole entire thing? Like, okay, here's a map of this, here's a map of this, here's a picture of this, here's a diagram of this. And then like they had like 3 of them on the same thing stacked this way going outwards and have where you could pull them all down. Those are the good old days, man.
My favorite thing was always when the one was always down for the entire year, then randomly halfway through the year would just give, and the whole thing would just roll itself up.
Yeah.
It's always the best
Those were
part.
the days, man.
I forgot all about those.
Those things
You just brought
kicked
me back.
ass. And those line makers for chalk where it could hold 5. It was like a piece of wood with 2 metal rings, it was like a metal rectangle. I'm sorry, like a wooden rectangle with a little tiny hand groove on it, and it had 4 prongs of metal sticking out to put a chalk in there to draw lines.
Oh, dude, man,
That shit
shit
kicked
was
ass.
so cool back
But my
then.
point was going to be, you know, I'm not an expert of the body. I was going to say I've seen the skeletons, the pull downs, and then the doctors with a little bit extra, you know, cheddar to spend, who have all the cool. Look at the human heart. Look at all the look at the human heart right here. You know,
Yeah,
look
this
at
plastic model
Yeah,
I have.
exactly. Yeah, look at this is your sinuses.
Yeah, when you were trying to get to that higher level of doctor, I thought we were being sarcastic. Since we were in school, I was like, "Oh, the school nurse is the top."
I was going to say,
echelon.
my understanding of the human body is not perfect, right? It's rather limited.
It sounds limited at best.
At best. But what I was going to say is the way I feel like is... So you know how, like, in theory, there's, like, the whole... I mean, listen, we all know there's a skull here.
Yeah, somewhere in this vicinity.
But then there's also, like, you know, some shit inside of there, and there's some stuff between there and everything else, and there's some skin and all that stuff in between.
Yeah, there's stuff and there's
It feels
things.
like... This is a really long way of me saying, after doing that last hit, it kind of felt like whatever's in this whole... Whatever everything behind that first layer of skin is... The first layer of skin stayed the exact way. Everything else expanded. So everything was just enlarged. It's just like pushing. You know, like when they show the CTE thing, and it shows the brain swung against the skull. It felt like that kind of. You know, that was the visual representation I had for the head. I was just sitting there, like basically spinning up. Like,
so elevated. You felt elevated.
Yeah, pretty good. I feel pretty awesome. Is what I'm trying to say here.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you
Sounds
know,
almost too awesome.
We took a 3-day little weekend to ourselves instead of the usual Saturday, Sunday off. We took Friday off too, and you could be like, "You guys, what place are you in to take off exactly?" And it's like, "Well, I'll tell you what place we're in." I was actually just being real. I was being kind to myself by saying we took off. And actually, we tried recording. About 11 minutes in, it was like, you know what? This isn't really. This whole recording is not working. Let's just not do it. Hopefully, that was our decision. We have more to talk about today because I know something I want to talk about. I don't know if something you want to talk about, maybe.
Yeah, I had things I wanted to talk about, and then I don't remember.
Then I hit record to decide, you know what? This won't be an episode of the Rose Yurasits podcast if I put it in any effort myself.
Yeah,
so I should
gotta stay true to form.
The second that light goes red, most people say, like, "Oh, I see red. I'm locked in." I see red. I'm stopping. I stop. Red means stop.
Yeah, you know the whole
green means go.
You know the whole flight or flight thing.
Yeah, or freeze.
I do the negative version of that.
Yeah.
Which one's the bad one? Flight or flight? I said
you
flight.
You said flight and flight.
What is it? Flight or fight?
Yes. Fight. Flight.
Yeah.
Or freeze.
Okay, that's too many options. I'm one of those.
You're the freeze for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I see red, I freeze.
Yeah, you're definitely not fight.
No, not even a little.
And you're definitely not flight. You're just.
And when I try to fight, I
bitch.
just stamper over my words and just basically just freeze.
Oh, I thought when you actually try to fight and you also stamper over yourself like an angry little toddler.
Yeah, well, I'm top heavy. Everybody knows.
Yeah, you're a top heavy guy. You charge flat footed with your head leaning forwards and put all your weight into your dome just so you can fall to the ground.
It's the way of the praying mantis. It's a very
it sounds like
a
the dumbass shit
martial
Elon
art
Musk keeps
form.
talking about when he keeps saying, "I had this move called the walrus," and it says, "I'll just lay on top of you," and laughs hysterically. I'm talking about.
No, that's
talking about the U.S. It is stupid. He's dumb as fuck. He's like, "Oh, I'm so smart." It's like, dude, yeah, maybe you're like smart, but you sound fucking asinine when you talk. So maybe you should invest some of that brain power on the whole talking good thing.
For how smart you are, can you understand that the way you're saying things is not?
Yeah, can't you understand like normal? Don't you have a loose grasp on the social constructs? Like,
at all.
Have a conversation with a person like a normal human being. All right, we get that you're super smart. You don't have to always just talk like a goddamn buffoon.
When he was talking to Joe Rogan about us, I got our weekly mention.
JRE, baby.
Yeah. When he was on with Joe Rogan talking about the whole are we in a simulation thing or not, which actually I think we are in a simulation. And here, before I get to the Joe Rogan story with Elon Musk, this is why I think we're in a simulation. I noticed on the way home the other day.
That's interesting.
When I came onto the highway.
That does lead to us being a simulation.
No, here's the proof. Okay? To get on off of the entrance ramp, the car that I was getting in front of was a purple pickup truck with higher tires.
I can see why you think that was a simulation.
Shut up for a second. And I was doing like 90 on the highway, right? I flew past this guy.
Sure.
At least 5 exits later, all of a sudden he just pulls up next to me like it was nothing. So I'm thinking it proves it's a simulation because...
Did you ever... for 5 whole exits, which is like at least 5 miles, I guess, right?
Some may say 6, depending on the exit.
So you were driving 90 miles an hour for 5 consecutive miles without any point of slowing down?
No. I'm a reckless driver, bro.
You're not, though.
I am. I zig and I zag.
You don't do that at all. You're actually knowing that. That's the only thing you don't do. No, you don't.
All the time.
The only thing you do is just ride people. That's the only thing you do. You just love being close to your pals and your buddies on the road.
Look, man, I got I haven't. What the fuck is it called?
Solid.
No, what's it called when you're afraid of being alone? Isolation issues.
Isolationism. That doesn't. No. What are you talking about?
My point was I was going to say I'm afraid of being alone, so I stay close to the other drivers.
Yeah, and give them no time for any reaction. It's a miracle that you haven't rear-ended every single person on the road.
So offended and pissed off when the person behind me is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, who the fuck is this guy doing this to me
right now? It's like probably he's taking a page out of your book. He looks over and he's like, wow, he's really close. Like, I guess I should be closer to him or something. Maybe we're going somewhere.
You know what? I didn't put my blinker on this motherfucker's.
I know. That's the only 2 things you refuse to do. You don't use your blinker and you ride everyone.
You'd be proud of me. I'm starting to get the habit of blinkering.
You know why? Because it helps.
I don't know if it helps, but I feel...
Well, hell, you know what it does? Oddly enough, you know what the signaling helps do? Signal of drivers.
Yeah, but of what, though?
Of where, if you're going left, if you're going right, if you're going left.
Oh, maybe that shit does come
in. If you're going right.
I should have been using it all this time when
it's crazy. Dude, you want to go left? Go left. You want to go right? Go right. It's
but I was getting confused.
Simple.
Do I click to the left for the left, or do I click left for the right? I mean, it's really hard to know which way is which when you're driving. You have to worry about it a lot when you're driving. You have to worry about the acceleration, the brake, the steering wheel. You got to check your mirrors.
Do you think there was like a point in the development of the blinker where they were thinking, it's just kind of dumb that we have to go down for left and up for right?
I don't know.
And then the guy was like, well, no, because if you turn your head to sideways, then left's down and right's up.
Aren't you asking a lot of your driver though?
And it's like, why can't we just have it where like maybe you pull the stick out extra to go left and you push it in to go right?
Or maybe the steering wheel should just have like a button on the side, left one, right one.
I would actually.
Or we just go back to the arm method. Stick your arm out that way for left. This means right.
And now, if you're in a car driving and you want to go left
on the highway,
and if you want to go right, unfortunately, there's no signal for that because there's no way you can reach out of your car comfortably from the other window and gesture right.
But no one can see it. It's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, well,
and no one can see the stop either.
Going left. Yeah, no, you put your hand down. You're going to think you have your hand out to the car.
Unless you have a passenger with you at all times, you're fucked, asshole.
You know what? That's how you go green. Force everyone to have only carpool lanes.
Let's bring back some HOVs.
HOV, man. Remember I was explaining it to like my teacher or something like that when I moved to Pennsylvania, and they were just so dumbfounded. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does high occupancy vehicle mean?
Oh, that's what CB meant when I texted you. Oh my God, I finally remember.
Cannabis.
No, Celino and Barnes.
Celino.
I was listening to them talk, and they were talking about how it was growing up in Louisiana, and they were saying how Theo Von and the other guy, what's his name?
Mark Norman.
Yeah. They talking about growing up in Louisiana, and they started mentioning lawyers. And they were like, no one gets this. We're just and Theo was like, we're just talking about the local attorneys here. And
yeah, the Celino and Barnes.
We just did that.
They're still on our thing. We're the podcast who talks about local shit.
All the time. That's our thing.
Dude, what the fuck? Theon Vaughn? Theon Vaughn? That should be his name, honestly. Yo, that sounds fucking tight as shit. This guy thought one step too small being Theo Vaughn. It was so close. Theon Vaughn.
He should go by Theo Von James Franco.
The James Franco name doesn't carry the amount of esteem it did once many years ago.
Yeah, but there's Theo James. and I always call Theo James Franco.
Right.
So he should go by Theo Von James Franco.
Right. Or maybe
I don't know if you get it. It's pretty. It's actually a really clever
I don't think it's that funny.
It's a really well constructed,
so maybe like
crafted
but
joke.
It doesn't work because now it's just Theo Von. So now the Theo James
I guess you're
connection
right.
doesn't
Now it's
really.
just the name Theo.
Now it's just the
Von
name Theo Von
Franco.
James Franco. So there's no connection here. How about you get like Theo Von and then someone who has the name Von and you finish it off that way?
You know, upon further reflection, this wasn't that well of a crafted joke.
No, maybe it wasn't.
All.
Maybe you are stupid.
Maybe I am.
Maybe all those negative thoughts you had in your head about how little purpose you had, maybe they were all accurate.
Wow, this is hitting hard. This is hitting harder than I expected.
Fucking goddamn, man. Well, no, I was gonna say.
What else is new? You're always gonna say something.
It's true.
That's kind of your thing.
It's kind of my thing. Watch Theo Von start doing that too. Now start saying things on his podcast, just stealing more shit from us. I know. Talking about local attorneys, dude. Get the fuck out of here. And Mark Norman too. You know. I like Mark Norman, but the I just had the intrusive thought about it. It's like, you know what? That cocksucker could be sitting here right now and be like, yeah, no, I agree, it's great. When we talk about the whole Celino and Barnes thing, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I love those commercials. Oh, they're amazing. Do
you remember how the slogan goes?
No, that's not the point. Fucking, he be getting into it, but he's like, oh, I'm actually from Louisiana. I'm the New York comedian. I'm everyone's comedian. I get along with everyone.
That's true. He does always try to act like he's the New Yorker's comedian.
So, like, what, now you're the Louisiana comedian because you're around Theo Von? You're both from Louisiana, dude? It's what? Oh, I'm from New Orleans.
Pick a lane, bro.
Pick a lane, dude. I know. That's what I'm saying. Pick a fucking lane, dude.
You can either
do you think that's Sam Morrell guy you do a podcast with? He goes to fucking Louisiana. He's like, oh, yeah, I love the local Louisiana. No, he's like, I'm a New York guy, you know? Fuck it.
Fucking. What do you want to talk about? What are we gonna say?
Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Yeah, what a show.
What a show. I'm still waiting for all those who don't know, right? Penn and Teller, right? Penn, Gillette, and Teller. You know, they had a cool show on Showtime called Bullshit for like 9 years, and they thought, you know what? Let's do a show.
Watching that, dude.
Let's do a show on the CW next. So they went to the CW,
Interesting choice.
And they're like, you know what? We did the whole Showtime thing.
We were edgy for a while.
It's pretty cool. Now we're gonna go to the CW.
You know what's cool now?
The bottom
Family
of the barrel.
That's cool.
Now we're gonna do a show called Fool Us, and it was funny because when the show came on the other day, I don't watch the show on TV, but I'll watch it on YouTube, and like every 8 months on the dot, I'll just get a suggestion for one video, and it's almost always not when I put on it comes on and just randomly as I'm it just auto plays it.
That's weird.
And I'm always like, you know what? Yeah, let me check it out. I like this show, so I'll watch one clip, then I'll go down a rabbit hole and I'll watch like 1,000 clips because it's been on for 10 years. And every time it's just like I get reminded, like, whoa, magic's actually not lame at all. It's super cool and totally gets you tons of pussy.
It blows my mind that show's been on for 10 years. I always feel like it came out 10 years ago, which is like a one season.
No, it's been on no, it's on all the time. And it's really funny too, because as I'm watching it, I just keep seeing in the bottom corner the CW series premiere for Charmed, the series premiere for Roswell, the series, the fucking CF Roswell, New Mexico, the series premiere for Dynasty, the series premiere. It's just like every single for Walker. Like literally every show is just a remake on that network, and none of them work. They all fail and they all get canceled.
Also, the weirdest bunch of shows you're remaking. Like, who's your audience? Your
I know, who are you targeting?
18 to 24. They don't know what the fuck Dynasty
Exactly,
is.
it's 18 to 24. So you're gonna your audience is you're gonna try to capture that 50 to 60 range, but then make a show that's only for the 18-year-olds to enjoy, but then not targeted to them.
That idea sounds
stupid.
Like
that sounds like the way a network
Damn it,
that would have been sold
exactly what I was gonna say,
and then purchased, and people who purchased it would have looked at the books and been like, wait a minute, for every dollar you spend, you lose 3. So for every dollar you make, you lost 3.
You know, it's really not fair. You know how they say that everything you want to say, you lose so much actually articulating it?
Right.
So whatever.
I think Elon Musk said that, actually, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that was on the Joe Rogan episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep everything.
He was all like, the Neuralink is really good because communication, the thing I suck at so much, the thing I can't do personally.
Maybe that's why he wants to make one of those.
You're right. He wants us all.
He is aware.
He is aware.
Or he wants us all to sound like him.
Yeah, that's what he's going to dumb us all down.
He's actually so articulate that we just can't keep up with it.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's probably why I made that whole entire thing. He's like, yeah, the neural. He's like, the issue is you lose 80% of what you're thinking when you're trying to actually say it.
Well, I think I do, because what you just said about the whole $2, $1 thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but whatever the thing in my brain that lets me articulate is not as quick as the thing that lets your brain articulate.
Right. You should work on that.
Yeah, I don't know how. If I knew what muscle it was, I'd start doing some flashcards. Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
That's interesting.
Flashcards.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Really, Alex? That fast?
Even faster? Wow, even faster than porno?
That's what it is, yeah.
But no, the magic acts, it's pretty sick. And as I put on the other day, you were all like,
I was ripping it apart for a while.
You put the first clip, that was the dumbest thing I've ever watched, and I was like, all right, take it easy.
Because I don't understand. My biggest issue with magician stuff is they'll be on stage.
For reference, though, no, the way it works is that the show, a magician comes out, a magic guy comes out.
Or gal.
Occasionally. Oddly enough,
women
Jordan Peterson's always talking about the whole analogy how women only want me in the brass executive titles, right?
Yeah, what the fuck
and we're all the female
know?
bricklayers. You're always saying that's a predominantly male industry. Dude, you know what's more predominantly male than bricklayers? Magicians.
True.
I've seen like 90 episodes. I've seen like 3 women. All right? And 2 of them were like teenagers who haven't found themselves yet. So that's why they're doing fucking magic. All right? You don't see any fucking 65-year-old women walking out there saying, I've been dedicating magic for 40 years. You're only seeing these old guys walk out saying, yep, I'm 79 years old. I've never had my dick touched nor sucked. And I love magic.
And life's pretty good for me.
Yeah, and life's phenomenal. And oh my God, then this one guy came out there and he was like, yeah, I opened up a magic shop with my wife who's also a magician. And our daughter... She works there helping us out. And she likes magic
She's
too.
actually an accountant. She does the books.
And then
for
I was
us.
like, wow, that just feels like the most concentrated amount of incest possible, where it's a magician marrying a magician to have magician children. It's like the whole copy of a copy of a copy of a copy thing. Imagine how dumb this daughter must be is my point.
I don't know. I think it's just a family who has a really shared, strong interest in the same hobby.
Like the Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Partridge Family. Probably a better reference to make in that instance.
My biggest issue with magicians on stage is
I didn't even finish what I was saying. They come out there.
That's interesting. I never finished what I was saying.
You fucking have to make some sort of remark about it. And a gal. You're the fucking. Where all my ladies and germs?
Principal.
No, you're the fucking. Was it
ladies and germs?
Is ladies and germs? Yeah. That's you. That's you
hello,
to the
ladies
max.
and germs.
That's you to the max, dude.
Yeah.
Magician comes out, performs, and then he's like, "So, did I fool you?" And then Teller's like, You did fool us.
No.
Yeah, actually, right. He does this. He usually says something like, when I was in New York last time, I went to Niagara Falls.
That's Penn. That's my point.
Sorry, Teller, my bad. All right, Penn, my bad. Mr. Penn Gillette. All right, the guy who has 2
Niagara
names.
Falls.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's like, I was in Niagara Falls, and I was, playing shuffleboard.
It's like the scene in Ocean's
and
11 or 12. Remember
I wanted to know what the time it was, so I grabbed my pocket watch. And then he's like, so did you fool us? And then the magician's like, well, with the very complex, hard to follow code, the magician's code that Penn just did with me, in which he screamed the word shuffle,
Niagara
Falls, and watch. No, I did not fool him because he completely understands how the trick went. Now that he just so clearly told me he did. And the next episode, it happens the same way. And the next one's the same way. But then the 4th episode, you get a guy who comes out there, and what happens is, this is all in the honor system because there's nothing. You always say all man has is his word. Man. All man has is his word. That word is nothing compared to the word of a magician.
Everybody says that.
That's the second thing. It's the whole curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, but satisfaction
brought it back. They always say man is only as good as his word, and that word is shit to a magician's word. So every once in a while in the honor system, Penn will be like, so I was babysitting my nephew and he wanted to play a game of hide and seek, and I wanted to know what time it was, so I checked my pocket watch.
Hey, this guy really likes using the word watch in his clues.
And then so he's like, so did you fool us? And then the guy's like, well, if you're insinuating that I used a pocket watch, then no, I did not do it. You don't do it. And then he's like, well, then you fooled us. And then a trophy comes out and says, fuck you across it. And they hand it to the person. And the person just runs off stage with no further conversation. They just beeline it because because then they're going to realize, well, oh my God, what if he just asked a follow-up question? And then he turns out he doesn't know how it's done. So he's like, shit. And they take it and they run away. And I'm just waiting for the comedian to come out there because, I keep thinking it's not a comedian. I guess the problem is they're all such funny magicians. I keep mistaking them for being comics. And Penn keeps talking about sets and the humor and the timing of the jokes, implying it's comedy.
Maybe only magicians get it. They only get the
Maybe it's the magician's humor. Yeah. It's like how when Bert was talking about the pedestrian's brain versus the comedian's brain.
That's definitely what it is.
Maybe there's the magician. So I guess it goes in the pecking order of man. It's man, comedian, magician on top. Because, you know, not many people know this, but comedians are actually the modern-day philosophers. Modern-day philosophers are the modern-day philosophers. But I'm still waiting for the true showman, for the right magician to come out there, and I'm just waiting for one of the things where he just starts to overly, just completely sexualize Willow, and just start making that the entire act, where he's like, all right, guys, here's my magic trick, right? Look to the left. As you'll notice, Allison Hannigan's wearing a lovely top. Ready? Alakazam. Oh, where'd my shirt go? I'm waiting for one of those magicians to come out there and really, take center stage, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping over, season 11's always coming around next year.
I thought that guy that did the tape on his fingers bit.
I know, he was flirting with her.
I thought he was going to be the hero. I thought he was going to be the hero that didn't wear a cape.
He's like, all right, Allison,
oddly enough, magician
as you
not wearing a
notice, see how our fingers are taped together? Very cool. Now, if you shake it really hard, shake your hands. And she's like, nothing's happening. He's like, are you sure? And she's oh my God! And she's just, again, shirts off. She's like, well, how'd you do that?
Oh, I thought he was performing magic and cock magic.
Oh, and the forbidden cock magic.
The dark arts.
That's what the dark arts of cock magic. They're always saying that. They're always talking about like the sleight of hand being one of the principles of magic, but they never mention the forbidden practice of cock magic. It's the one. It's the age old trick. When she's giving you head, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking come. And then you come, and she's like, And then you wave your hands over her face, and it's like, blow. And suddenly it's like all over her face. She's like, wait, what'd you do? He's like, it's magic. It's cock magic. And she's like, but no, wait, you came in my mouth. And he's like, I know. And now it's all over your face.
I thought you were going to say flowers.
And she's like, how'd you do that? Magician never tells.
The Magician's Alliance.
Yeah, the Magician's Alliance. The Alliance would frown greatly upon that.
Yeah, we should totally give that one to Mitch. What's his name? Mitch what?
I was going to say Hedberg, but that's the other guy.
Yeah, and I was going to say Mitch Albom.
Hurwitz.
We should give that.
Mitch
Hurwitz.
Hurwitz. I'll just call him up. Yeah, here's a great idea. What if the next time Joe wants to do a trick with one of Michael's girls, instead of doing like the whole, but instead of doing like,
where'd the lighter fluid
come from? Wow, we just need to find a trick that involves you holding your breath for 20 minutes. Dude, the part how it ends with, oh my God, where he's like, what does he say? He's like, why is the water not putting me out? What does Tobias scream when his hair gets set on fire and he tries to jump into the pool, but the pool has the glass across it? He's like, why am I not sinking? What does he say?
I didn't see that episode, I guess.
What do you mean? What am I talking to Rich Eisen over here? No, that's the next Job trick, though. He's going to be like, all right. So he's like, what you're going to do is you're going to just open your mouth, and I'm going to ejaculate into it. And before you can swallow a single drop, you're going to realize your mouth is as dry as ever. That's when I wave my hands, and suddenly
Alakazam,
it snowed outside. Alakazam, and you got a facial. That's like 2 birds, 1 stone. It really is. You get the satisfaction of doing both. That's a rarity in this life, all right? The way you can experience those things so close to back is if you're just like really have a great rejuvenation period, you gotta be stretching for weeks is my point. Really get into this like a fighter preparing for the fight. It's like, no, I'm gonna come twice within 30 seconds.
Most magicians can only dream of achieving that kind of nirvana.
It's a real David Blaine. It's a performance piece, really. It surpasses magic.
That guy is fucking
David Blaine's a
whacked.
Lunatic.
Holy
all right?
shnikes.
Listen, I hate Patrick Ceci, all right?
Yeah.
But that video was informational. It was informative, okay? You see David Blaine put a fucking ice pick through his hand. You're like, wow, that's magic. And you get the carpet or the wool ripped over your eyes, and it's, oh no, it's not magic. That's a man with a severe mental block limitation, something. Someone who's mentally stunted who decided, you know what I should do?
God, my fucking hand hurts right now.
I'm going to take an ice pick. You know that like fleshy part of the hand? Oh, everyone put your hand in front of your face right now.
I wonder what's over there.
That part where if you move your thumb around, it's like, wow, that's not really, there's no real movement over there. There's just nothing there. He thought, what if I just stab that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? And then eventually I'll build up so much scar tissue that I can just stab it with no issue and there'll be no blood. So I can make that was a magic trick. That's magic. It's like, oh, I thought magic trick was, again, sleight of hand,
or the
cock
forbidden arts of
magic.
cock magic.
I didn't realize that magic was
Self-mutilation.
Self-mutilation.
Yeah. That's actually the third tenet.
Huh. What other magic tricks do you do? Oh, I stood on top of a building. I'm sorry, I stood on top of a tower for 3 days without food.
Huh.
That's an endurance test. That's not magic.
Yeah, I don't know where the line changes from this is magic to it's just a stunt I'm doing.
I stood. I was underwater.
And I don't understand.
Again, not
magic.
magic.
What's his performance piece? What's the performance?
The fact that it's being performed, I guess.
I guess I'm just not highbrow enough to understand these high concepts.
It's too highbrow for you.
Because none of it makes any sense.
Yeah, I would have been one of those guys throwing the fucking egg at the thing when he was hanging around in France and wherever he was.
You still have the type that would understand.
Yeah, probably because he's dumb looking. It makes it hard to understand. He's the least charismatic person to ever exist. It's an actual slug of a man.
Yeah, it's really,
offensive.
Yeah, it is. Good word for it.
It offends the entire idea of being famous in the first place. You know, because usually it's like either you're famous and you're super cool, or you're famous and you're super hot and you have no personality, or you're famous because you're really talented at a specific thing. And that thing usually isn't just saying you're a magician, but being a liar and actually just
standing on top of a tower really count as being talented.
I don't know, man.
Not to be mean.
It's cool. That's sick, dude. That's awesome. I can't do that. Good on you.
Yeah, exactly. But like, is that a talent or is that just a thing you're doing?
But again, is it a magic trick? Because I'm watching and I'm like, I'm seeing it. My eyes are not being. It's a guy standing there.
You know, you get there, it's just a guy standing there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you spend all this
time.
I
kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah, you kind of feel bad for him. I kind of felt bad for the guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Back to Penn and Teller's Fool Us. My biggest issue with the magicians is you're on stage in front of an audience and you're going, "Is this your card?"
True.
Like you're doing the most intimate, small, up and close, personal magic on stage. What happened to the fucking David Copperfield stuff? Or the Siegfried and Roy.
What does Molly Shannon say where she's like about David Copperfield makes her really horny?
No, something in her vows is like when you took me to see David Copperfield on our first date.
Before that, when she asks him to go see David Copperfield, so we can go this Wednesday. And I'm not to brag, but I'm really good at making out or whatever she says. But it's before that, she says like magic makes her super horny.
Something like that.
Something.
I don't know if I saw that movie actually.
Yeah, is that one either, Rich?
No, I guess I haven't seen that one.
God, I really aspire one day to be as knowledgeable of topics as Rich Eisen is, and maybe I can get a Roku original show. Maybe I can move over my show from like Fox News or wherever. Probably not Fox, probably Fox Sports, maybe more accurately.
Yeah.
Wherever his show, maybe NBC. I feel like an NBC kind of guy. I think they like bald guys over at NBC quite a bit. Matt Lauer.
That's kind of the thing over there.
Maybe Rich Eisen if he happened to work there. Who knows? Probably another guy, maybe. Probably replaced Matt Lauer with another bald guy, honestly. After it came out. What a funny instance, though, where that guy breaks the Me Too movement, the Me Too movement, and then gets Me Too like a week later, and he's like, I never saw this coming. Never in a million years.
Yeah, when you're the one breaking the news, how is it not crushing your mind?
You think you've been writing the story like, huh?
Maybe I don't talk about this.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Sound way less severe than it is.
Wait. What Harvey did was a problem?
Huh.
Because then I have like 20 fucking years of problems.
20 years of problems.
Wow. He starts like getting all split. Like, are you okay, man? He's like, I'm something right now. I need to make a few phone calls. And like we're live. He's like, I need to make a few.
We're fucking live.
I need to make a few phone calls. And he just left the set. And then they made a TV show on Apple TV about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the morning show based about that? Yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was actually the ultimate insult. That's why they cast Steve Carell. They're like, we're gonna cast a guy with hair.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
That's literally the most prejudiced thing you could possibly do against someone. You said
before how like the coldest rap line you've heard was the 50 Cent one?
Yeah.
I think that's way worse.
Same shots, but I'm still fucking breathing. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's fucked up. You're gonna cast a guy with a full head of hair, a nice head of hair, to play the guy with no hair. It's fucked up. It's the Larry David thing. Actually, I guess actually, I don't know. I can't remember Matt Lauer's square little face looks like. Was he like full shaved on the sides, or did he have hair on the sides with a horseshoe?
He had a shaved, like real close to bald shaved horseshoe. So he was bald on top.
Think Larry David would approve or no?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Because it's the exact same haircut as Larry David, just it's not all.
He's not having the respect for himself to actually rock the bald look.
No, guy got that respect for himself.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Even though Larry David will disavow me for it, if I go bald, I'm going bald.
Yeah, honestly, Larry David should probably just shave it.
Yeah, Larry David should probably shave it off, honestly. Maybe instead of looking like a troll under an underpass for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Honestly, probably quite a while. So I saw that YouTube short of him doing stand-up comedy, and it was like, wow. I didn't think he'd be this. I didn't know he could look worse.
You know, I just realized we watched that clip of it the other day, and John Hamm's in it trying to play him in something. They ended up doing an HBO movie together, the two of them. Like, probably right around that time of that episode.
What movie?
I don't remember. Something that Larry David wrote for fucking HBO. Some movie, but he's got the long troll. He looks like one of those old troll toys with like the blue and pink hair that's all wild and all over the place.
The troll doll.
Yeah, exactly. One of those old troll dolls. Isn't that what I said?
Right. You said the troll toy or something.
No, the troll toys? Well, I meant the troll dolls.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, yeah, Larry David. Should probably shave it off. I don't know. But then again, it's at this point, you know, it's kind of his look. You know, it's his thing. Dice had the whole cigarette to the mouth.
Yeah, but that's another look.
Larry David's got the whole being bald thing, huh?
Maybe yeah, as time changes, your look updates.
You're right, because Andrew Dice looks like a bit of a bozo walking around with the fingerless gloves.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. A little bit.
Oh, a little fucking bit. Oh, the fuck you know, huh? Yeah, I still can't get over it. But then again, it's like all I can think of here. I like Andrew Dice Clay. But, you know, I think it's when you know, they always say you don't want to see it, you know.
Come on, drama. That's a really
That was really weak, that one.
Oh, my God.
You know when they say you don't want to see how the sausage is made?
Yeah.
He's been deduced to just being at the Sands Casino and being, what's it called now? Wind Creek, that shithole?
Yeah, Wind Creek.
Fucking
really
blowhards.
Yeah, really. Wind Creek fucking blows. We should talk more about how much Wind Creek sucks.
But no, when it was the Sands Casino, all I can still think of is Dice going on a 10-minute tirade.
Yeah, I know.
I can't even do my set with... I can't even do my set with these meaty fucking tits staring right at me. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's just they're right fucking there. These puppies are trying to, they're barking at me. What am I supposed to do my fucking set? My dick's half hard just looking at you. And it's like, bro, 7 minutes, stop. And he's like, I'm sorry. It's just these fucking tits in the front row. You should put a fucking, a garbage bag over them or something. It's like Blinders. You should have a sign saying things appear larger than they are. Things are closer than they appear.
I look at that. I ran through most of my show. It's time for nursery rhymes.
I know, he didn't do that. He ended it by talking about, so I got my tongue in this chick's asshole. And she turns around like, do I know you? And I said, what else is there to do at the bank? Oh!